Amanda. Okay, boxers, have already spoken to you both. You know what I expect. Stay professional, obey my commands, and most of all, protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Go on.
So the stage is set, the big unification battle. Bernardo Checa in that Mahfoud corner.
Round one.
And away we go, 10 two-minute rounds. The fight with Katie Taylor for Amanda Serrano was an epic battle, and there were plenty at ringside, interestingly, including the boxing news correspondent, the revered writer Thomas Hauser, who thought that Amanda Serrano won it.
Yeah, there was a few who thought that, John. I thought Katie Taylor did enough to win the contest, but it was close. It was a classic, wasn't it? It was a sensational contest, it really was. But Katie Taylor, for me, just did enough to win it.
There was the question about how much it might have taken out of Serrano, though. If there has been any sort of slide in her performance level, then Mahfoud is good enough to exploit.
Well, she'll have her work cut out tonight, Mahfoud, most certainly. Serrano started fairly strongly here on that front foot. She looked very confident indeed, whipping that jab in, looking downstairs, that left hand to the body. And the opponent, Mahfoud, is just on that back foot, just trying to control the attacks from Serrano. For me, looks very confident, John.
She is very much the consummate professional, isn't she? Everything from her preparations, her time in the dressing room, her ring walk, everything is absolutely spot on. She's in control of her own performance right away.
Yeah. I think Mahfoud is working the right way here. She's moving to her left, so she's trying to go away from the left hand, but the problem she's got there is if she walks onto the right hook, Serrano, who's just trying to close that gap down and is targeting that shot, but just working well with the jab, trying to set up that left hand to the body, but also the right hook over the top. So Mahfoud's got to watch it as she's moving to the left.
Relatively quiet opening round. There's a good shot from Serrano, last scoring punch, and we'll have a little listen in. Serrano, that is.
Yes, Serrano in the first round. Mahfoud's just got to work probably more with her own jab, but also that right hand. There it was there, so she's got to bring that more into play as she's moving round to the left. But it's Serrano again on that front foot, hunting her down, looking well with that lead hand, setting up that backhand to the body there.
Mahfoud's dad, Syrian, her mum comes from the Faroe Islands. Became the IBF champion in 2020 when the champion Jennifer Han vacated. She's won an interim belt and was upgraded and has made one defence since. The last 5 fights have brought her wins, undefeated of course, Mahfoud. They've brought her wins, but she's had to go the distance to do so.
There's a bit of blood on the forehead of Serrano, so where's that come from? I think there's a cut on Mahfoud's forehead. There's definitely a cut there, John.
Yeah, I think it's Mahfoud who's bleeding, and that's going to require work. And I wonder if that was another clash of heads. Referee's keeping a very close look at it.
That spurred Serrano on here.
I'm told it was indeed a clash of heads.
It'll be interesting to see which boxer is cut here.
It might both be.
It might both be. Heavier shots now going in from Serrano. Closing her, hunting her opponent down. Looking for the bigger shots. There's that left uppercut to the body. Long sweeping shot.
Well, it's a big ask for Mahfoud now, and they'll go back to their corners. Final work on that cut, which hopefully won't have an impact on the fight. Second round you'd have given to Serrano.
Yeah, I thought she, again, on that front foot, more positive work from her. thought she nicked the first round, and certainly the second round. Far more aggressive on that front foot coming forward. Just got to watch the heads again. Very close, nearly clashed again there.
And the blood started to flow.
I think what Mahfoud has got to do here, John, also, is occasionally just try and push Serrano back. Serrano just keeps coming forward. That's a little bit better. Good shot there from Mahfoud, but she's got to be a little bit more positive. Try and push Serrano back. Right from the opening bell, it's Serrano that's been coming forward.
Serrano fighting out of the southpaw stance and probably back at the weight that she feels suits her best. She certainly intimated that when we spoke to her at the weigh-in yesterday. As a featherweight, she feels that's her weight, much more than lightweight, where she fought Katie Taylor. 9 stone, that's where she's happy.
Bad from Mahfoud, but she's not accurate enough with her work. The quality of the punching isn't as good as Serrano. You can see how Serrano has forced knockouts. There's power in her shots. She sweeps the punches in. A lot of leverage in her punches also. Mahfoud is trying to keep her at bay.
Serrano's trying to work the body, trying to break her down by targeting body shots. Last few seconds of this round. Maybe a slightly better round that for Sarah Mahfoud, but it was Serrano who was dictating the pace.
Round 4.
10-rounder unification battle at featherweight, and Amanda Serrano, the big favourite, she's ahead on our cards. Serrano in the white top.
And that's not a bad jab from Mahfoud as she's moving to the left. But she's got to be a little bit more accurate. And trying to keep Serrano at bay with those shots. Difficult. Serrano just marching forward. She's really getting into a rhythm now, switching the attack downstairs, that left hand also. There isn't a lot of respect, is there, from Serrano as she's coming forward?
None. She's coming forward, looking to break her down, and she's the one on the front foot all the time here now. And she's looking to get right on top, and the margin looks as though it's becoming more emphatic, and Mahfoud rather is starting to look a little bit disconsolate and downbeat. We heard between rounds her trainer trying to get belief in her work, and the way she's being systematically outpowered and outskilled here is going to erode that sort of feeling big time.
Yeah, she's having a little bit of success with her own jab. There you see, but she's got to be a little bit more dynamic with it. It's got to be a harder shot, especially with the right hand also. So fast jabs, fast right hands, and try and beat Serrano to the punch and keep her at bay. But Serrano's having none of it. She's just walking forward, looking to land to the body. That wasn't a bad shot there for Mahfoud. That's a better punch from her.
She's walking through her, really, Richard.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Mahfoud has only got the 3 stoppage wins in her 11 victories, and she's not got the power to keep her off. Last 10 seconds of the fourth. And, well, I don't see any way in which you can score this other than another round to Serrano.
Seconds out, round 5.
Serrano unmarked, not blowing particularly hard into the 5th round, and she's in control.
She's in control, it's the same as, isn't it? Mahfoud has not really changed her pattern, especially with the movement. She keeps moving off to the left, but she's not really effective with that. She's got to try and punch over her opponent's jab with her own jab, and maybe land the right hand also. But no, she's not effective enough, John. You know, here and there she scores with the odd punch, but it's not really effective. As we said before, there's no respect from Serrano, just marching forward.
It's kind of pitter-patter stuff, isn't it? And even when she does get through, there's no damage whatsoever done. She's hardly made Serrano take a backward step so far. Moved well off the ropes there and landed with a left hand, but again, Serrano just blinked and kept on coming.
Serrano now just targeting the body with that left uppercut on the inside. really has great variation in her punches. Lovely left hand there, so she's good at punching with straight shots with the jab and straight left hand, but she'll also whip this left uppercut downstairs. That was a little bit too low. But then on the inside also with the hooks, yeah, she's a good all-rounder, is Serrano.
Mahfoud will have taken heart from the fact she's picked her off once or twice from range, fighting off the back foot with her jabs like that one which went through, and another left hand which was a scoring shot, but they're just not making any sort of a dent in Amanda Serrano.
No impact at all. She has landed with the odd shot here and there, but then she probably fails then just to carry that on and maybe push her Serrano back occasionally. That hasn't happened.
Many of the crowd, I'm sure, would like to see more of a tear-up, but that's not Sarah Mahfoud's style. So I think that's arguably the best round she's had so far. Whether or not it would be enough to impress the judges, though, frankly, I doubt. Well, halfway stage, we've got her right in control here. Amanda Serrano, big favourite with the bookies, and she's showing a lot of class.
It's been one-way traffic, hasn't it? I think, John, for Serrano.
Bernardo Checa's job, he's been trying to round after round in that corner. He's just trying to instill a bit of belief into his fighter.
Yeah. Better then, Mahfoud.
Wanting her to do more than just poke out the jab. He's been telling you, let's bring the right hand in like that.
And this round, Serrano just slowing the feet down. She slowed the tempo also. Having a round off here. Serrano started the first minute of this round. She's not like the previous rounds anyway, John. She slowed it down here.
She's not done a lot, has she, so far? All the scoring punches have come from the Dane. And finding the target with that left-hand lead. She's got quite fast hands, Mahfoud. Left hand to the body from Serrano.
Back on the front foot now, again.
She took her foot off the gas, didn't she, for a couple of minutes? Maybe just realising that it's going to go long and she's got to leave a little bit in reserve. We're losing this round.
She's strong now, though. She had a better round for Mahfoud, probably the best round she's had, and that's mainly because Serrano just slowed everything right down in this round. Just had a round off, I think.
And maybe Serrano losing a round for the first time.
Because she started the contest on that front foot, just coming forward and setting the pace, and yet she certainly slowed down there.
Grueling fight against Katie Taylor. I think we said with that early point, how much has that taken out of her? Can she be the same fighter again after a fight of that sort of intensity?
Well, maybe she slowed down that round just to see if Mahfoud would actually come forward and engage a little bit more. Mahfoud's just been on the outside, hasn't she, on that back foot, reluctant to come forward. I said that Serrano has been so strong on that front foot. Mahfoud is trying to cope at distance, but she hasn't been doing it.
I reckon she won the last round, Mahfoud, in which case, it's still conceivable if she wins everything from here on that she can get right back into this. There's a good left hand from Serrano.
Better work again from Serrano, in and out with the feet. She knows that she's having a good section of the round here. Serrano working that body also. There's that long right hook. So again, she's back into her groove in this round, John.
Yeah, I would say so. And it was a conscious decision just to ease up and just leave something, as I said, in reserve. and she's having a much better round here. That's a clear round then for Amanda Salas. The whole Parker camp have been so confident in the run-up to this. They really believe that they have the advantage in skill, in speed and experience.
Yeah, it's a close fight, isn't it? Genuine 50-50. And they are confident, as is the Joyce camp. Not long to wait now, John.
No, there is that sort of nervousness. You can sense it around the auditorium here, this big arena. People, yeah, they're watching this and they're enjoying this, but there is a sense the real fireworks, the main event, is coming very soon.
Mahfoud just having a little bit of success here, holding her feet, just push Serrano back occasionally, holding the centre of the ring. It's not too bad from her, better work from Mahfoud.
Nice right hand there, as you were speaking. Forcing Serrano onto the back foot. Bernardo Checa telling her to double jab, let her gloves go. Looking to try and bring the uppercut through. Lands with a left to the body.
A couple of good straight shots here from Mahfoud in this round.
Watching the way she's fought in the last 2 or 3 rounds, it makes you wonder if she'd had a bit more belief early on. It could have been closer than it probably is now. So far that there's going to be a stoppage one way or the other.
Doesn't look like it, John, but with Serrano, she has got power, and some of these shots, she gets a lot of leverage, and I think the body shots as well can be very hurtful punches that she throws.
She's got a terrific stoppage percentage, hasn't she?
Yeah.
You know, those 30 stoppage wins and 42 victories through her long career. Her debut way back in 2009. She seems to have been around forever.
Very relaxed style. She gets power in her shots.
Continues fighting off the back foot, packing away with that left-hand lead. That's nice.
Yeah, that's better. Being patient on the back foot there. Serrano to come into punching range and then letting her shots go. Fairly accurate there. Mahfoud, that's better work. And again with the jab. Better round.
Looking well in reverse gear. You're doing enough to win this round.
Better boxing from Mahfoud.
Serrano just losing away a bit again. Nice combination from Mahfoud. And she's, I think, fairly significantly taken that round.
Down, baby. Second out for your 10th and final
Maldonado
round.
does have a little bit of a history of being not exactly respectful to opponents.
Well, I think if there's a knockout here, it's got to come from Mahfoud. She's well behind here. I just think deep down in the corner know that.
She's getting a good account of herself in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, she's getting into a rhythm now, nice and busy. catching Serrano as Serrano sort of does her work and then goes back and sits back on the back foot, and then you've got Mahfoud, you know, nicking the odd shot here and there, not letting her rest, so it's better work from Mahfoud.
And she is starting to land more with that right hand, and if she is going to really get Serrano into big trouble, that's surely going to be the punch that does it.
You know Serrano's coming forward, very strong. Mahfoud getting the timing right, hitting her with that right hand as she comes and try and stop her in the tracks really. So this again is better from Mahfoud. She's matching Serrano for work rate and beating her to the punch. Much better boxing.
Got her onto the back foot there, and just for a moment Serrano looked a little bit stunned by one of those punches. Mahfoud doing well as we come towards the final bell. Serrano being caught a lot more than many would have anticipated. Serrano will surely try to come on strong in the closing seconds.
Serrano, I think, for Mahfoud.
Very much so. Yeah, very much so. The further this fight has gone, the more Mahfoud has got into it. And this is a good round she's produced. Referee gives them a round of applause, a sporting hug from both fighters. I think Serrano's won it, but Mahfoud certainly comes out of it with some real credit after coming back in the second half of the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 2-minute rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Victor Laughlin scores it 99-92, and both judges Steve Gray and Michael Alexander are in agreement. They scored the same 97-93, all in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And now the women's IBF, WBO, WBC, and IBO featherweight champion of the world, Amanda, the real deal, Serrano.
Serrano takes it by a very wide margin on one of the judges' scorecards. Victor Laughlin, who was sitting alongside us as commentators, he scored it 99-92, the Scottish judge. The other two, 97-93, which is kind of pretty much where we had it. But it was a dominant performance, and Amanda Serrano, where's she going to go from here? Will it be Katie Taylor again?